Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. The Warriors still want to make updates to the squad and are open to exchanging players. Coach Steve Kerr aims to return the dynasty this season. Rumors: Warriors make trade and bring in Brandon Ingram. Even before the stunning departure of Stephen Curry's splash brother Klay Thompson, the Golden State Warriors have been searching for a new number 2 scorer to once again crack open their championship window. Could that lead them to the New Orleans Pelicans' disgruntled former All-Star forward Brandon Ingram? Bleacher Report's Dan Favale proposed a blockbuster 3-team trade, essentially swapping the underwhelming Andrew Wiggins for Ingram. Golden State Warriors receive Brandon Ingram, $36 million, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, $2.2 million. New Orleans Pelicans, DeAndre Ayton, $34 million, Moses Moody, $5.8 million, Golden State's 2025 first-rounder, top 8 protection. Portland Trail Blazers receive Andrew Wiggins, $26.3 million, Gary Payton II, $9.1 million. The Warriors need someone with the present-day apex of second-best offensive player on a really good team. Perhaps Jonathan Kuminga or Brandon Podziemski ends up checking that box in due time. Counting on either to do so next season is all sorts of risky, Favale wrote. While Ingram is a risky proposition given his contract situation with the Pelicans reluctant to give him a 4-year, $208 million max extension, the lack of market for the former number 2 pick, Favale reasoned, could make him a buy-low trade candidate for the Warriors without giving up Podziemski, Kuminga, or a distant first-round pick. Golden State capitalizes on this divisive valuation here. Wiggins is more plug-and-play, but his contract no longer profiles as a net positive, and Ingram has the much better best-case outcome as a shot creator and table setter, Favale wrote. Despite a down year last season, Ingram still averaged 20.8 points and 5.7 assists. Since the Los Angeles Lakers traded Ingram to the Pelicans in 2019, he's been a consistent 20-plus point scorer over the last 5 seasons. Andrew Wiggins mourns father's death. Wiggins is mourning the death of his father, former NBA player Mitchell Wiggins, who recently passed away. The basketball community has lost a legend. Our hearts are with the family, friends, and fans of Mitchell Wiggins. The Athletic's Shams Charania reported in 2022 that Wiggins' father has been dealing with a serious medical condition, which explained the Warriors' forward's mysterious personal absences over the past 2 seasons. Wiggins missed 2 months of the 2022-23 NBA season, then missed another 4 games last season. He canceled a business trip to China this offseason due to a family emergency, which was surmised to be related to his father's medical condition. Wiggins is entering the 2nd year of his 4-year, $109 million, which was deemed a bargain when it was signed following his All-Star season and the Warriors' championship run in 2022. But Wiggins has been a shell of himself since then, which interestingly coincided with his father's medical condition. Will Wiggins return to form this season now that his father's fight against an undisclosed illness is over? Or will it take some time for him to mourn? Interestingly, Ingram's struggles started at Team USA under Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who benched him in favor of the shorter but stout rebounder Josh Hart of the New York Knicks. Ingram's confidence dipped and it cascaded to the NBA season. However, in retrospect, Ingram looked at it as motivation to get back to his all-star form. From Team USA up to this season is probably the worst that I've been in a New Orleans Pelicans uniform, and I'm motivated by that, Ingram said during his exit interview in April. I can go back and I can blame coaches. I can blame everybody else but myself, but, I've got to go look at myself in the mirror and tell myself what I really need to do. How can I help this team? How can I help the coaches, and how do I get the fans in New Orleans to believe in us again? And that's my job. That's my task. Steve Kerr sends a strong message about Andrew Wiggins. The Golden State Warriors won the NBA championship just 27 months ago, but since then, they have quickly disintegrated into a very mediocre squad. They lost in the second round of the 2023 playoffs, and last season, they failed to make the playoffs, making it the first time they didn't do so while being relatively healthy since 2012. The franchise has been clinging to the faint hope that it could pull off a major trade that would restore its elite status, and should it make such a move, forward Andrew Wiggins could possibly be involved. Head coach Steve Kerr told the media that Wiggins looks very fit and seems to be motivated to get back on track, per Anthony Slater. Steve Kerr on Andrew Wiggins: "He looks physically really fit. Speaking with him, he sounds very motivated. He knows the last couple years have been tough for a lot of reasons. I think he's primed to get back to where he was a couple years ago." In his first 5.5 seasons with the Minnesota Wiggins had a reputation as a low-efficiency chucker, and it was thought he couldn't be a major part of a winning team. But after being traded to the Warriors during the 2019-20 season, he reinvented himself. His shooting percentages rose considerably, and he even made himself into one of the NBA's best wing defenders. That earned him a starting spot in the 2022 NBA All-Star Game, and he was an integral part of the Warriors that season as they claimed the World Championship. Last season, Wiggins had a bit of an off year as his scoring average and efficiency dropped, and the season before that, he only appeared in 37 games due to an ankle injury and a personal issue. Golden State lost Klay Thompson, one of the main players during their dynasty years, in free agency this summer, and if they are to remain at least somewhat competitive, they will need Wiggins to have one of his best years ever.